What makes someone truly dangerous? It's not strength, it's not wealth, it's their ability to control minds without being seen. In this video, we'll climb through the 7 levels of dark psychology, from a subtle whisper to total mind control. Level 1, suggestion and influence. Every journey into the dark begins softly, almost too softly to notice, not with force, not with shouting, but with a whisper, a suggestion, a seed planted in the soil of your mind and left to grow. This is level 1 of dark psychology, influence. Think about advertising. It rarely tells you what to do. A soda commercial doesn't order you to buy. Instead, it shows friends laughing under the summer sun, ice fizzing in the glass, the smile of belonging. And suddenly, you don't just want a drink, you want the feeling, the happiness, the connection. And when you reach for that bottle, you believe it was your idea all along. Psychologist Daniel Kahneman called this System 1 thinking. Fast, emotional, automatic. It skips logic and dives straight into instinct. And this is exactly where suggestion lives. But it's not just ads. It's the friend who says, "Everyone's going. You'll love it." Just a casual nudge. Nothing more. Yet later, you convince yourself it was your choice. That's the hidden danger of suggestion. It never feels forced. It feels natural. Now, ask yourself, how many of your daily decisions are truly yours? And how many are whispers placed there by someone else? Level 2. Emotional manipulation. Level 1 is subtle, a whisper in your mind. But level 2 cuts deeper, because it doesn't just guide your thoughts, it pulls at your emotions. This is emotional manipulation. Think of a friend who says, "If you really cared about me, you'd do this." That's guilt. Or a partner who whispers, "Without me, you're nothing." That's fear. These aren't arguments, they're weapons. And they work, because emotions are stronger than reason. Psychologists know this. When our feelings are triggered, the logical part of the brain, the prefrontal cortex, goes quiet. Emotions take the wheel, and suddenly, we're driving blind. Think about it. How many times have you done something, not because it made sense, but because you felt pressured, because you didn't want to lose love or risk rejection? Emotional manipulators know your buttons. They know when to flatter you, when to shame you, and when to scare you into compliance. They don't convince you. They control you. And here's the trap. You often don't realize it until it's too late, because the moment you act out of guilt, fear, or desperation, it feels like your choice. But it never was. Level 3, gaslighting. Now the game turns darker, much darker. At level 2, they used your emotions, but at level 3, they attack something far more fragile, your reality itself. This is gaslighting. Imagine this. You remember an argument clearly, the words, the tone, the sting of it. But when you bring it up, they stare you in the eyes and calmly say, "That never happened. You're exaggerating. You're too sensitive." At first, you resist. You know what you saw, what you heard. But the more they deny, the more doubt creeps in. What if you misremembered? What if you are being dramatic? Slowly, brick by brick, your trust in yourself crumbles. Carl Jung once warned, when you ignore your own shadow, someone else will use it against you. Gaslighters do exactly this. They exploit your blind spots, twisting your self-image until you question your very sanity. And here's the terrifying part. Once you no longer trust your own mind, you'll rely on theirs. You'll lean on their version of reality. And that's when they own you completely. So ask yourself, how much of what you believe today is truly yours? And how much has been carefully rewritten by someone else? Level 4, exploiting weaknesses. Every person carries cracks in their armor, fears, insecurities, secret desires. At level 4, the manipulator doesn't just notice them, they weaponize them. This is exploiting weaknesses. Imagine a boss who knows you crave approval. They overload you with work, underpay you, and then throw you just enough praise to keep you crawling back for more. Or a partner who senses your fear of being alone, so they dangle love like a prize, reminding you that no one else would want you. Viktor Frankl once wrote, "When a person cannot find a deep sense of meaning, they distract themselves with pleasure. And here lies the danger. The emptier you feel inside, the easier it is for someone else to fill that void, with chains disguised as comfort." Manipulators study you, they learn your story, they find the button you guard the most, and press it again and again until you break. At this level, they don't have to fight you, you fight yourself. So the question is, have your deepest fears already been turned against you? And if so, who's holding the strings? Level 5. Social Domination. At the earlier levels, the manipulator preyed on you directly, but at level 5, they evolve. They stop targeting only you and start controlling the world around you. This is social domination. Here, perception becomes their weapon. They whisper behind your back. They twist stories, sow doubt, pit people against each other. Slowly, the room tilts against you. Think of school bullies turning classmates into allies. Think of a toxic coworker who poisons the office with gossip until your reputation collapses. Or politicians who divide entire societies, not with armies, but with narratives. Robert Greene, in the 48 Laws of Power, wrote, "Reputation is the cornerstone of power. Once it's cracked, once people believe the lies, the smear campaigns, the half-truths, you're no longer fighting one manipulator. You're fighting the crowd." And here's the cruel twist. They don't even need to destroy you. All they need is to make others question you. Doubt spreads faster than truth. And when the group turns its back, isolation becomes your cage. So ask yourself, if someone decided to rewrite your reputation today, how quickly would your world turn against you? Level 6. Psychological Entrapment. At this level, the manipulator doesn't just influence you, they trap you. Not with walls, not with chains, but with your own mind. This is psychological entrapment. Here, the manipulator makes you dependent. They give just enough love, just enough praise, just enough reward to keep you hooked. And then, they pull it away. You chase it, you crave it, you beg for the high of approval that never lasts. This is why people stay in toxic relationships. It's why followers cling to corrupt leaders. It's why gamblers return to casinos after losing everything. The cycle of reward and punishment locks them in place. Daniel Kahneman's idea of loss aversion explains it. We fear losing what little we have, more than we desire freedom. So instead of breaking the chains, we tighten them ourselves. And here's the trap's brilliance. You don't even realize you're a prisoner. You tell yourself you're loyal. You tell yourself you're in love. You tell yourself you chose this. But ask yourself, what if your loyalty isn't love, but dependency? And what if the cage you're in is one you built with your own hands? Level 7. Total mind control. Everything until now was preparation. Subtle nudges, emotional traps, social warfare. But at level 7, the manipulator no longer wants to influence you. They want to own you. This is total mind control. Think of cult leaders who convince people to surrender money, family, even their lives. Think of dictators who rewrite history books, silencing every voice until only their truth remains. At this level, the manipulator doesn't just guide your choices. They rewrite your identity. You no longer think for yourself. Their words become your thoughts. Their cause becomes your mission. Their rules become your morality. And once you've surrendered the self, there is nothing left to resist with. Carl Jung warned, the larger the crowd, the more shadow it carries. And here lies the danger. When individuality dissolves, collective madness takes over. That's why entire nations can cheer atrocities. That's why ordinary people can commit unthinkable acts, believing they are righteous. And here's the final horror. Once you reach this stage, you don't even know you're controlled, because you no longer exist apart from them. You are their voice, their hands, their instrument. So, the question is, if someone could erase your will completely, would you even notice you were gone? You've just seen the 7 levels of dark psychology, and now you face a choice. Walk away, forget, pretend you're immune, or use what you've learned to sharpen your defenses and help others do the same. If this opened your eyes, share it, before someone you love becomes a victim of these tactics. Because ignorance isn't innocence, it's weakness. And if you want more, subscribe, not for me, for yourself, for the shield that comes from understanding the shadows. Because those who know can never be controlled the same way again. In a world where control is currency, awareness is your only wealth.